Hi, I'm Bailey, and I am here with Nora Pykkonen, who is Head of Digital Transformation at Proudfoot. So, Nora, how are you liking the conference so far?
It's great. I've met a lot of people in just a couple hours, so it's my first time here.
What's been your favorite part?
Definitely, I'd have to say the keynote speaker. I thought Beth was really good.
And so I know that you are big on digital transformation, obviously. So can you give us a couple of tips when it comes to digital transformation? What are some recommendations that you have for other companies who are tackling this big change?
I think the biggest tip is that it's such a broad area, and artificial intelligence can be really overblown. And it's the companies figuring out where they are at today and figuring out how they can actually achieve digital transformation. So a lot of companies really need to get their siloed databases together. They have a lot of work to do with just cleaning up the data before they actually can really do any true digital transformation or data science.
Definitely. And I read up that your guys' mantra is people transformation. So can you tell me a little bit about that and how that kind of differs with your approach?
Yeah, it definitely. Proudfoot is a 74-year-old company, and people have always been first. And on the operational consulting side, they are looking at ways that they can improve operations with their people, and that's where I come in. And definitely, my background has always been people first. I founded Slalom in 1993, and it was always a people-centric company.
And what makes you want to lead with people? Why is people the center of your focus?
Because at the end of the day, it's all about people, right? Technology is changing every day, and technology will definitely change the world and the way we live. And hopefully, we use technology to make everyone's lives better. And it's down to the person who's working in the factory, who I'm definitely into the smart city initiatives. So people who are installing cable, we want to figure out how to make their jobs safer and to be able to leverage technology to make their lives easier and to spend more time with their families.
So if I read correctly, you used to own a ski mountain, correct? Do you want to talk to me a little bit about that venture and how because that differs so much from what you're currently doing?
Yeah, well, and do you mind if I back up a
Yeah,
little bit
absolutely.
as far as, so in 1993, I founded Slalom Consulting. So Slalom Consulting is now a company that has 7,000 employees, $1.5 billion in revenue, and it was all about people at Slalom. I literally raised all my daughters at Slalom, and all of them were in a baby Bajorn when I started Slalom, and they never left my office. I was the primary caregiver. So what happened in 2012, I sold to internal employees. And I had some ski racers, and who were definitely divided as far as ones who wanted to ski full time and ones who wanted to stay in Evergreen. So I was looking at different options, and it was definitely a passion purchase for Echo. But I loved it, and what I loved about it is it really brought me down to my roots. I mean, running a ski area, especially a small ski area, is like ranching. And I grew up on a ranch.
Oh, nice.
And so making snow and the operations, people don't realize a small ski area is very, very tough. Something is breaking every single day. And it literally, like Echo, we had a small city. And so you would have pipes break, you would have disc drives, you would have your lift breaking. So every day it was super challenging. It was super, I worked sometimes 24 hours a day. I would live at the mountain. Keeping the generators going was very, very tough when it is 20 below zero. So Echo was a passion. It was not my smartest move. I actually, 4 years later, I was forced into bankruptcy. I did pay all my creditors, principal plus interest, but Echo was a passion, and we ended up selling it. But it was the hardest thing that I ever put my family through.
And with that probably comes a lot of change and a lot of hard times and like learning from different shortcomings. How have you taken those lessons and applied it to the business world today?
Well, definitely, Echo was definitely my biggest failure, and definitely it was physical, it was tough financially. My family was, back at ground zero, literally. And how I applied it today is you have to have grit, you have to have perseverance, and having a startup when you're younger is one thing. When you have 4 kids and losing everything you have and starting from scratch is completely different. So it's really what I take from it more than anything is you're going to fail, and you have to get up, and you have to do it again.
And what advice do you have for other women in tech who are finding themselves struggling, trying to, get to that next thing?
I think the biggest thing is you have to really dig deep, and you never can give up, and you have to persist, and you need to follow your passion and your dreams. And it's a little tough because Echo literally, I should have quit many times, and my family would be much better off. But really, I think the thing with women today is you're going to be knocked down. You're going to fail, and if you're not failing, honestly, you're not trying hard enough, right? So it's failing is good, and but you have to be persistent. You have to have grit, and you cannot worry about what everyone else thinks about you. It's really, your heart. You follow what you think is right, and go from there.
And then last question is kind of a fun one. Where do you see technology going in the next 10 years?
Well, definitely, and my passion is the smart cities, and it's leveraging technology for our cities to operate better. So to eliminate the single occupancy vehicles. Right now, this is a huge problem. In Denver right now, we have 74% of the cars that go into Denver every day are single occupancy vehicles. So being able for mobility, being able to use IoT devices to figure out traffic patterns, to move traffic, for housing, and working with the underserved, the homeless. So really, the Smart City initiatives really encompass everything in a city, and this is my passion. And how can we help people live better in the cities today?
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah, it's definitely one of, I think, there's a lot of hype around smart cities, but if we don't move our cities with technology, then the cities are going to be at a standstill, right?
Absolutely.
And so it's already happening, and to accommodate the number of people we need to accommodate for healthcare, for everything that's involved in a city, we have to utilize technology and IoT devices. But it's not just IoT devices. It comes from, the 5G networks and being able to use technology in every way to operate the city.
Well, thank you. This has been great. This is Nora Pykkonen with Proudfoot. She's head of digital transformation.
Thank you.